Welcome back, guys, to another episode of my weekly devlog series. So last week I did a bunch of bigger stuff that we are going over now today. Let's just directly jump right into the first clip, I guess. Alright, so it's now Monday already, actually, because on the weekend I actually programmed a little bit. I tried some things out and they didn't really work that well. But now I have something that works. And I actually wanted to do that yesterday already, but yesterday, like over the weekend, we realized, hey, the performance of the server isn't that great, the Minecraft server that is. So on Sunday, I spontaneously upgraded that a little bit. So now the Minecraft server is running on an actual dedicated server with an Intel Core i7 6700 and 64 gigs of RAM and two 512 gigabyte NVMe SSDs. This thing is blazing fast. I have to say, I never ever played on a Minecraft server that's that fast. Like, just did some testing, like flying around generating chunks. It's wicked fast, I have to say. And so far, no lag issues now after over 24 hours. Yeah. Okay, but what did I actually do programming wise? I actually tried some stuff out here for unit testing. So that right here, that's kind of what I learned in the Node.js masterclass on like Skillshare, the course that I watched. That didn't really work for me, to be honest. I don't know why, but it didn't. So what I now did is I got myself an actual like library that does this thing that I tried to program myself. It does that kind of for me, called Mocha. It's like, looks like it's the go-to for like everybody who wants to do like this sort of like testing of JavaScript code. Okay, but maybe like, why would you even need to test code in that kind of fashion? Let's actually just run that, I guess. So this right here is my shell. And let's just kind of run a test script here. And that's it. So yeah, we are getting like some console output in the middle that's like unnecessary. So essentially what this does is it just starts this one script. It doesn't start the entire program really. It just starts kind of like my one script, and in here I can reference like all the other code that I've written. Like usually when you run it, you would like run this index.js file, which kind of does its own little things here, and then like starts and initializes everything. This right here is different. It doesn't do that. It just does like just starts it basically like this, just the script, and just starts the stuff that I reference in here basically. So as you can kind of see, we get some like green check marks here. Everything seems to be fine. The nice thing about like this Mocha thing is that it's also measuring the time it takes to execute each test. So each row here is like one test that it executes basically. And it's like a description that I give it here, and then I give it a function, and then it executes these functions essentially. It also, as I said, measures the time. So if something takes a little longer, then it also tells me that. In the end, it tells me like how long it did in total, and how many tests were passing, and how much have failed. In my case, nothing failed, so this is nice. So I guess I didn't like, why would you want to do that? Even like, what's the purpose of doing something like this? Well, the problem is now I know everything kind of works, but then I go and I add on new features. Like I have to maybe go back into old code, alter some stuff. And if then that code that I like altered, for example, doesn't work the same way, then like other building blocks that build on that code also don't work anymore. And so I can, through like updating the code base, I could like break existing functionality through adding new functionality. And this sort of testing here allows me to figure that sort of stuff out. Because I can define like, yes, this one function, it should do always this one specific thing. and I expect it to do this one specific thing. And in the testing, I'm testing that one specific thing. And so I can see, does this one specific thing that this function does work or not? And if I update something, for example, if I just like kind of restructure the function itself, or like another function that function depends on, whatever, and that breaks something, then I see that here, and then I know, hey, I have to fix that because that might break some existing functionality. Yeah, so doing something like this is actually super simple here. I just call the function that I want to test, and I usually get like an error and some data back, and then I can check with this right here if the error is like equal to false, so there was no error, then I can like check some stuff like the user data, for example, is that an object, is the like Discord ID like the same as I gave it or whatever. And so I can kind of like test if everything works. This like just kind of like validating the output of the function basically. So we can actually do a little fun thing. Maybe let's just go and say, hey, yeah, error should actually equal true here. So now we can run this again. And we kind of get like some different outputs. So we see here now that's red. We see 10 passing, 1 failing. And there's an like assertion error there, like false equals true. That doesn't work. I can see like where exactly that comes from, which exact thing this is. And I can see, yep, like right here, something doesn't quite work out. And now if that would be false, and if the same error like that would get thrown, then I know, hey, this is giving me some sort of an error back. Let's see like what the error is, where the problem is, and so I can go in and fix and debug that thing basically. Yeah, so that's exactly kind of what this testing is. So I have now different sections of my program basically. So I have the library here, that's just some like general kind of helper functions. For example, like logging stuff or performance logging, stuff like that I might want to use in like different sections. I already have now all the, or at least some of the testing. Yeah, pretty much all of the testing for that in here now. But I still have like all the stuff about the Discord bot and the web server and stuff like that to go. These are going to be interesting because these might be a little bit more difficult to test, to get like some sort of an error back or whatever, because it might be difficult to like go in here and, yeah, I mean, I could give this like some form of like an input and then also get some output. Actually not really. Yeah, I'll have to take a bit of a look at this, how exactly everything looks like, how I can build these tests a little bit better. And yeah, so I always get like this nice everything passing. So yeah, so now I'm going to work a little bit more. Alright, welcome back on this beautiful Thursday. I now have a little bit more time because I have a long weekend now. So I was at home the entire day, but mostly played some Minecraft. But I actually did some programming today. And now I finished kind of the UUID thing. I think I should start a little bit earlier because I didn't record for quite a while. I did finish the entire testing stuff for all the stuff that I can test. That doesn't include all the Discord stuff, but it does include basic testing for the web server and all my library functions, backend kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. And yep, then I started basically building the import feature for the stats. So yeah, basically when you play Minecraft, the server saves some statistics of what you're doing. You can actually view that obviously in game when you press escape and then you click on statistics. And I want to make this information available on the Discord bot, through the Discord bot as well, in the future also on the Pixteria website. That will be a thing at some point. Yeah, exactly. So for that I have to somehow import the statistics from the server. There isn't really like a real way of doing this, so I have to do that myself by manually reading in the files. Let's actually just mount a little thing here, and now in this folder, thanks to some Linux magic, I have the entire directory from the Minecraft server directly, so that's just mounted in here basically, containing all the statistics. Let's see, let's open mine. I'm that guy right here, and also prettify that. So these right here would now be my Minecraft statistics basically from the servers. You can see like lots of things that you probably recognize. I left the game 88 times, opened 75 barrels, for example, killed 1,198 mobs, inspected 1 dispenser so far. Or I have taken 19,540 damage, or I swam 7 kilometers, I think. Yeah, also down here it has a data version thing. I'm not yet quite sure how this one works. But I mean, I think that every time the Minecraft server updates anything in here, it also increments that by 1, which should give me a pretty easy value to just look at. Like I can just take a look, hey, did this thing change? Yes or no? If yes, then I can just save that to the database. For now, I think I will like look like every hour for updates and then save that to the database, so you also have like a view on how it evolved over time basically. So this is now a new field in the database for the members, and this is my UUID, and that's just added down there now. Nice thing about MongoDB is that I didn't have to do a whole lot of changes, just changed literally like a couple lines of code, and boom, I don't have to migrate this database or anything. It's just very, very easy to do. With a traditional database, this would not be possible this easily. I would have to like convert this and like update the schema and do like weird stuff and migrate that somehow. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm just going to do some more work on trying to import these files and writing into the database. Okay, so now I added a bunch more code. So now essentially I'm running every 5 minutes, and on every startup of the app I'm running now this MC update stats function. What this now does is like trying to figure out first it gets like every member we have recorded, then it checks, does the member have UUID, like does the member even play Minecraft, do we have like a valid thing that we can go off, and if that's the case we have to change that one thing. Geez, yeah, that's what happens when you just copy and paste code from GitHub, because that's not the right path, whatever. Then we're trying to check if the file that's written on the disk is older than the version in the database. No, if it's newer, because if it's newer, then we know the database version is outdated and we have to update that. And that's what we're doing here. We're just reading in the file. We're doing like the stupidest thing down here with like adding these dashes that I think I talked about, and like adding that into the right spots. And then we read in the file, we parse the file, so it's like a proper object that we can then write in the database, and we just write it into the database. And I know I tried to run this, but as I said, this wouldn't work right now. So yeah, I'm just going to add that real quick. Alright, yeah, that was obviously pretty quick. I just had to copy that from down there. Okay, so now let's do the anxious moment. Let's run the code. And it crashed directly. Right, so now I changed it around a little bit, so I'm now just kind of more or less inverting that. I'm not sure why this helps, but it helps. And as you can see right here, I'm now only going in here, and this is only going to log a proper UUID. In this case, it's mine. Yeah, so this looks a little bit better now. Wait, couldn't start the process to mount the SFTP server. This worked before. We have the stuff in there. What is your problem? Let's stop that again. And it's still running. That's not good. I mean, I did kill that now, so now this should work properly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as it's connected, right? So now let's just wait 5 minutes and see if anything happens in the database. So something just logged, like mine and Explore's UUID onto the console. So I have to find that and delete that, but whatever. Let's reload that, but there's still nothing in here. That's a little bit worrying, to be honest. We should have some output in here by now, for sure. Like, it should create a schema itself, because I did my thing, I think. Okay, I think I found another mistake now. So here it logs the arrow and it says the full path here. And it's like txt blah blah blah, and then lib mc stats. But it's like directly in MC stats, not in lib MC stats. So that's another problem with the path here. Why is that? Oh man, come on, let's just do that. I think it's using the relative path of wherever I am right now. So that should now theoretically fix that. So let's wait again. Okay, so it happened again. We have new IDs here, or like the UIDs now here. Let's refresh this. And wow, there's a new thing. And stats. Object Minecraft cust. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Whew. Okay, so now the big question is if this properly works over a longer period of time. I'm now going to test that and see how that does. Oh man, I just realized that my microphone wasn't really recording. I don't know for how long. I think since tomorrow. So today I built quite a bit of stuff already. As you can see, I built in the Discord commands to get some like outputs here. I'm still going to completely refine that, so you have like an overview which you get by just like plus MC stats, and then some like different things, for example, like all the different distances traveled, maybe like what have you been killed by, how many different kind of mobs you killed, what are your like top mined materials and stuff like that. I'll look through how I can make like different nice overviews here. Some of them might be involving a lot of work. I think I have to maybe do some like backend functions for that. Maybe I'll see. But now I am going to grab some lunch, and after that we'll see what I can do here. Okay, so I now wrote an enormous amount of code. Okay, so here now the MC helpers function. And here are now all the get stats templates. So these are all templates that I know written. I think these are 9 templates in total, and then some more helper functionalities down here. Very, very long. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Yeah, okay, so let's zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, we can actually write just MC stats, and then this will give us something. Let's just start the app up again, so it actually listens for what I write. So this gives me an error message here because we haven't specified any collection, but this now shows me all the collections that we can go through. So MC stats in general would be the first collection. So general statistics for the TXT, my Minecraft user. This shows deaths, how many players I've killed. That was just for test reasons, no worries. how many mobs I killed, how much playtime I have, and how far I've traveled by foot. So this adds the distance walked, sprinted, and crouched. And MC stats distances now shows me. I should just, oh yeah, distance. MC stats distance now gives me, come on. Why do you take that much time? It didn't crash yet, so there we go. Why did it take so long? I have no idea. Whatever. So this shows me all different distances as Minecraft logs. So that's the walking distance, sprint, crouch, climb, fall, walk on water, walk underwater, swim, boat, elytra, and flying. I have no idea where like what flying is really and what elytra is. Maybe that's just like in creative mode, but I don't think that I flew a lot around creative mode. So I have absolutely no idea, to be honest. Whatever. MC stats. Ores is the next one, so that's the ores that you have in mind. 69 diamond ores, blah 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 blah. Undefined for emeralds because I never mined those. Whatever. And then total is the next one. MC stats. Total. This shows me the total blocks I have mined, for example, 31,000. Blocks built or items used, so this is like one thing. So yeah, it's in the same kind of category basically that I can read out. 56,000 items broken, items dropped, items crafted, distance traveled. That's like all the different distances from up here together. MC stats. What's next one? Top usage. Yes, these are now the top lists basically. It's a top usage, so this is like the different blocks here, the top list for you. In my case, I used diamond pickaxe the most with 18,000 times. After that, cobblestone 9,500 times. And then comes top mined. Pretty self-explanatory. And then top killed. Yeah, so that's the mobs that I killed. And top killed by. So this was interesting because there everything kind of broke for me. Because as you can see, these are not 10 different things that I got killed by. And yeah, because I hard coded the 10 in from the beginning, but I've changed it a little bit, so it's like if it's not 10, then use like whatever length you have. Yeah. And then we only have one left, I think. Total per death, yeah. Why did I not do that with underscores? I have absolutely no idea. I should change that. So it's like all the same. And now some underscore and some camel case, whatever. Also couldn't find that. So I probably did that correctly. I just wrote that wrong in this thing here. Total per death. What? Let's take a look in here. Yeah, it's total per death. Totals per death. Yeah, so this should be total per death. And this should be total per death with underscores. Okay. Let's restart my app and then we can use that here. Okay, so this is now like the totals from above, just divided by the amount of deaths basically, because why not? So in every of my lives I mined 1,800 blocks, for example, broke 2 items, or traveled 25 kilometers. Yeah, so next is obviously writing an AI that then predicts when you're going to die for the next time. Ah, no, just kidding. Now I will upload this actually. This is now pretty much done. No, I will write some tests for it still. and when I've written some tests, then I can declare this feature kind of finished. There are still some things in the future I want to do about this though, and that's like global top lists. So you can say, hey, who has the most amount of deaths, or who has the most amount of distance traveled. Yeah, we'll see. Probably just for like this totals thing here, MC stats total. Yeah, MC stats total. So where's the most blocks mined, built, or items used? Yeah, these things, maybe some things from general as well. But we'll see. This is something for the future. This will be a little bit of more work that I don't want to do right now. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention, by the way, that this obviously also works for mentioning other users. So I could mention Explore here, and then I get statistics for Explore. Alright, as you can see, it's now live on the server, and it's doing its job just fine. I can also view stats from other people as well, and yeah, that looks all pretty neat. Alright, so now you have hopefully a good idea of what I did this week. Next week is going to be a little bit more interesting, actually, or not. No, not more interesting. I also had a lot of time actually this week, like yesterday and today, because well, the 3rd of October is like a holiday in Germany, and today I had a day off. So yeah, next week I will be working for all 5 days again. So yeah, that's not a lot of time to do a whole lot of stuff probably in that week, but we'll see. Yeah, still have like the rest of the weekend, I guess. So there's still one thing that I have in here, update the in-game names. So basically, as you have seen, I've added a system that now automatically adds the UUIDs. So why do I also want to update the in-game names now? Well, the reason for that is that I'm, first of all, that I'm just converting all in-game names, or everything in DuSenteBot, I'm converting that all to lowercase characters. So all the in-game names are lowercase, which isn't a big problem. It just doesn't look as nice. And this is fixing that, because it then gets like the correct in-game name from Mojang servers again. And that also means that if you change your in-game name, that it automatically gets updated in my app as well. So that's a little thing. It's not going to be like a whole lot of code. Pretty simple feature. And then the next one is actually the admin command for whitelisting that I'm going to do, and other integration via Archon. So this is like the remote connection where you can essentially just connect to your Minecraft server remotely and then have the console remotely. So you can, so my Node.js app can send whitelist add someone, or whitelist remove, or something to the server, and the server then does that, which I think is probably a bit easier than writing that into the files directly, which might also work, but I'm not going to do that. And yeah, then for the stats command that I just talked about, also like adding like top lists, so you can well see who has the top kills or whatever. And yeah, allow removal of items from the member schema. So yeah, right now there isn't any logic to delete members, so I also want to implement that when someone leaves the server, that their object gets deleted automatically. And yeah, some other stuff. Karma top only shows the top 9 instead of top 10 users, and some other karma improvements. And add a status channel with constantly updated message containing online players and other information. Yeah, that's also something. Automatically add the in-game name for Minecraft to the Discord nickname if they're different. Yeah, and then just a bunch of website stuff. So yeah, there are still lots of interesting to-dos that I have to work on. Yeah, I think I'm not going to be done with all of these this year, but we'll see. Yeah, so then let's just end the video right here, I guess. Have fun, and see you all next week. I'm probably going to do another video actually, in which I will talk a bit more in depth about how I built the feature that I built last week with the stats integration, like the in-depth bit of the code, stuff like that. But we'll see about that. So thank you guys for watching. See you on the next videos. Until then, have a great time. See you all then. Bye bye.